Hey guys, welcome to our Q&A video. That was her cue. It's alright. It's okay.
You're supposed to, like, introduce. You didn't tell me when I'd be popping up behind you.
Hi everybody, I am your King Talion, and this is your Queen... Kairi. And now, for our Q&A video. So you guys have been asking a lot about having a Q&A video for the two of us to ask questions about how we met and stuff like that, yada yada yada. So I put a post on Facebook for you to ask your questions in the comments, and this video is going to show us answering all of those lovely questions that y'all have. I'm going to try to step to the side so that Kairi can get good in the photo, because she is obviously the picture.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Look at this model here. You're gorgeous. You're gorgeous, sweetheart. Alright, so I just looked up the post on Facebook, and the very first comment is from our good friend Paige Willis. Hello, Paige! I don't know if you're subscribed to us on YouTube, but if you're not, you should be. Anyways, Tyler, will you come to your senses and agree that it's called soda? Fucking never, okay? It is called Coke. All of it is called Coke. Isn't that right, babe?
Soda.
Coke.
Soda. What do you call Pepsi?
Pepsi is never an option here in Texas, so we don't ever have to say it.
Bullshit, because you know how many times we have been to a restaurant and they have asked you,
Is Pepsi okay? That's why you say Coke. You say Coke, and that means all Coke products, plus the exception of Dr. Pepper, which is its own product. So they have to ask, is Pepsi okay? And then you condemn them to hell from which they came. On to the second question. How long have you both been doing TikTok? How long, and they added another question onto this. How long did it take you both to realize you had feelings for each other? Babe, you answer that one first.
Who was that from?
This is from Julie Fenmore.
First question, how long have you been doing TikTok? I've been doing it since August 2018. I think it was like the beginning of August.
So you started way before I did.
Really?
You started August 2018? I thought you started years before that on Musical.ly.
Oh yeah, I did go on Musical.ly, that's right. I totally forgot about that. But I was on Musical.ly, I maybe uploaded 2 videos, but it was dumb. Signed off, and then I went back on because they were like advertising that it was like some cool shit, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty fun. So
how long did it take you both to realize that you had feelings for each other? I realized it the very first time I saw her, because I think I saw you comment on you started getting on my live streams, first of all, and then you started doing duets with me. She did a few duets with me. I remember them, the TED one, especially. The TED was the TED video that I did, you duetted, and that was the very first one that I saw she duetted with me, but apparently it was Lion King that was her very first one, and she was drunk when she did it, and so she deleted it. But I never got to... Oh, I got to see it once. Yeah, I looked at her... I finally found her after she was on my live streams, and I checked out her TikTok profile, and I fell in love. Aww. My dream girl.
I started watching you in August, too.
Did you really, when you started?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I got on,
when I had 50,000 or so?
I think you had, 20 or 30.
May have been 20 or 30,000. Because I started in July. So, yeah. July was when I started TikTok. I didn't even answer that question. I apologize. But yeah, July was when I started. And at first I started it as a joke because I saw it on commercials and stuff like that on Instagram. And I was like, this is the cringiest shit I've ever seen. I may as well get on here and see what this is all about. And then I started actually getting into watching people lip sync. I didn't know what it was at first. It was hard for me to comprehend. It was like some guy coming from the past and seeing a car. Because I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't know. Especially when I tried to do my first video. Oh, you should see the cringe. My lip sync is so off because I didn't know how to work it. I was like, how are you supposed to do... What? Huh?
I did see your first video. I went that far back in your videos that I...
You did?
Yeah.
So
I did some creeping.
You stalked me.
I did do some creeping.
Alright, so the third question from John Bayless. What did you do before TikTok? What we're doing now. Pretty much. Well, Kairi's life has changed so much since we've met and since she started TikTok. Mine has I quit my job that I had. And I met the most
college.
beautiful girl. I was in college, and then I dropped out of college. So I guess that's a change. It has been some changes, yeah. I mean, besides me meeting the most beautiful girl in the world and my dream girl and the perfect one for me, and my match in heaven, and deciding to drop out of college, also a great decision I've made in my life. How about yourself, babe?
There's so much.
There's so much, yeah.
Let's see, where do I start? I mean, I was living in Utah, and I was married, and I got divorced, and I met him.
Y'all were pretty much separated for like years, right?
We were like kind of off and on. I mean, no, we weren't separated for years. We were like off and on since like September, and then it was just kind of like all downhill from there. We were married for 2 years, together for 7 years, and I'm spacing out. I was kind of like had my own little business for a little bit, and that didn't really go too well, and
my knees are starting to hurt. Sorry. They had a lot of changes.
Yeah.
A lot of changes.
Moved to Texas.
And then she moved to you moved to Arizona first, with your family, and then she moved to Texas to be with me. For a while there, while she was in Arizona, she came to see me. Was it November or October that you came to come see me?
November.
November? Okay.
It was November 16th.
That's right, because the 17th was when I asked you to be my panda queen, my girlfriend, and I kissed her on live stream, and that shocked her, and she started shaking.
It shocked everybody too.
Yeah, everyone was like, all the freaking stuff coming up on there. It was awesome. So then she came, I came to visit her in Arizona twice, and I actually loved it. For it being the first trip that I've ever taken by myself, 12 hours all the way to Bullhead City, Arizona. That was awesome. That was pretty cool. It felt like freedom. It felt like I owned my life then. Alright, next question from Jenny Bonel Marskull. Mariskull. So sorry if we butcher your names on here. What was your first conversation with each other on the phone? Aw, that's a good one. We were on FaceTime, and then well, if we were talking like first time, it was when we were talking with our group of friends, when we were just friends at the time. She was our friend off TikTok, and I decided to do the charity thing to where I gave her half of my donations, because she sent me so many freaking pandas, and I realized she had a Kickstarter, and I was like, no shit, and I realized what her Kickstarter was about, and I was like, are you kidding me? You sent me all that freaking money, and then you just decided you didn't want to put it in your GoFundMe page?
I really wanted your attention, okay?
Yeah, well, you got my attention.
I was like, this guy's hot. I need him
off
to notice me.
Notice me, senpai. So we were just friends at the time, and we decided to... I was talking to Lily. Some of you guys know her from our TikTok tag, and Macy. Those of you who followed us from TikTok. We were talking to them. I was talking to them over Instagram. We ended up FaceTiming each other at one point when she joined our group, our little group chat, and that was the first time I saw her, and she couldn't stop staring at me. I noticed that. I was
You did notice that.
I was like, why are you staring at me? And then she was like,
and like every
"Really?"
time you would like look away, I'm just like swooning. I'm just like, oh my gosh, like kind of like FaceTime with him, and then Macy like dropped the call, and it was just us two, and I was like,
yeah.
Shit, what do I do? What do I say? How do I act? I was like,
That's how I thought she didn't like me, because she wouldn't talk. So I was like,
I got very nervous.
and she was just cute, like, just sitting there, and I was just doing weird shit. Like, I was over there trying to be awkward as possible to start a conversation, so I was just like, making weird noises and stuff, and she's just over there.
Oh my god, I didn't know what to do or how to act. And it was like, and then I saw every time you would like look back at the camera, I would just like look away like I wasn't staring.
Alright, I think this is the 5th question from Lily. From Lily King. When the hell are you guys coming to Wisconsin? Whenever we get money. Katie Jenkins says, how did you guys meet? Met over TikTok. I guess that's already kind of obvious where we met, since we've already answered a few of the questions. Yeah, it was me on live stream. Well, I've seen duets from her, and I thought she was the coolest chick. So I was like, wow, she's cool. Because she did all these funny videos. She had awesome talent on TikTok. And I love seeing that when people actually can act and they act good. And she did great videos. Her beauty, of course, and her acting, and just something in me clicking just was just like, wow, this girl is the one. Especially after, the first duets I was like, oh, she's pretty cool. And then I saw more duets from her. I was like, this girl's pretty awesome. And then she joined my live stream, sent me all them frickin' pandas. And I've seen you, and I see her. She became a regular on my live streams. So when I had the scheduled ones, she would always get on there and talk, and I'd be like, "Oh, hello, Kairi, how you doing?" Then I ended up checking up her full page, and I was like, "Wow, she has she is just drop dead gorgeous."
My hair was a lot shorter then too.
Your hair was a lot short. Your hair was a lot shorter then. Yeah,
it was like this side was all shaved, and like this was all super short.
You know what's funny? When I have dreams about you, your hair is still blonde.
Really?
I don't know why. I guess it's because I first met you when your hair was blonde, so I was just like, huh. It's just kind of imprinted in my head, because I always know Kairi as being blonde for some reason. Not the actual character, not the game character, but...
The character, her hair's this color.
Yeah, her hair's that color.
And this length, too.
Yeah, look at you, Kairi. This question is from K. Tigarden. Was your mom skeptical when you guys finally met in person? What was your first thought about her? And Kairi, what was your first thought about him? Well, you go ahead and ask your mom if she was skeptical about you coming over here and meeting me in Texas.
My mom was not skeptical at all. My dad was.
Your dad was?
And, like, the rest of, like, my dad's side of the family, they were all skeptical because they were like, it's gonna be like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. My mom was, like, all for it. My mom had the hots for you, so I mean...
Gosh. Oh,
she's like, get it, girl.
Yeah, her mom, as soon as she came down here, actually added me on Snapchat and gave me an emergency call number, because she was like, alright, well, here's my emergency phone number just in case anything happens. And I was like, aw. When my mom was skeptical, my mom's a skeptical woman, so she probably was. I don't really tell them about a lot, because my mom freaking interviews me and then interrogates me more about who I'm going out with, so I'm like, I did tell them about you. And when I told them I was going to come meet you, she was like, this girl came all the way from Utah to come see you? I just don't know. But she ends up liking you. She ends up loving you.
I'm glad she likes me.
Yeah, she does like you. My parents do like you. My dad likes you and everything like that. She's a total sweetheart, so my parents absolutely love her. Yeah, we already kind of covered the first thought thing. But there's your question. What was your first thought about him?
Oh, my first thought about you?
Yeah.
I was just like, damn. I saw him on the For You page. It was like instant. I was just like, damn. Clicked on his videos. Scrolled, and just like binge watched all of your videos. And it was like, pretty much love at first sight. It's so funny. It's like, I don't believe in love at first sight or anything like that. But it was like he was saying, it was like something clicked. And it was like, there's no freaking way that like somebody like this out of my league is ever gonna like notice.
That's what I thought about her. I was like, there's no way. She's probably so cool and she has that rocker side to her, so I thought she's probably one of those. She's drop dead, like she's hot. Like that's what I'm gonna say. She's gorgeous. I already said that. She's hot. And I was like, there's no way that she's gonna think that I'm cool, because a lot of women that I've met in my life, they think, wow, that's a good looking guy. And then they hear my personality and then they're like, wow, he's a total freaking nerd.
See,
Which
that's
I am.
My favorite part about you, though.
You like
I'm
the
like,
nerd?
I'm a total loser and like super like geeky and nerdy and just weird. So I mean, it matches.
It's a good match.
We're both pretty nerdy.
We're both dorks and nerds, and she loves video games. I love video games, and she's just awesome.
You're awesome.
No, you're awesome. Stacy Vanover, hello Stacy, says, where do you see yourselves in 5 years? I want you to answer that question first.
I honestly never even think that far ahead.
She doesn't really think that far in the future.
I really don't. It gives me anxiety.
It gives me anxiety. Me, well, I hope that we've grown on Twitch and YouTube. in some form, and on TikTok a lot, because TikTok is the platform that we started on, but we're hoping to move more towards Twitch and YouTube, because that's our dream. That's especially Kairi's dream, because she's known famous YouTubers. Jacksepticeye, for one. That blew my freaking mind when she told me that she was good friends with Jacksepticeye.
We weren't like good friends, okay? It was like
Bro,
acquaintances.
you were talking to him privately, okay? The man's a god. Alright? Acquaintances? He called you by name. You knew each other by a first name basis. When I asked you about him and you were like, "Oh, Sean?" And I was like, huh? And she's been invited to all of their freaking YouTube events, haven't you?
Not all of them, just one.
Just one? He invited you himself?
No, it wasn't him. It was Yummy Mash and his girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. It was Yummy Mash and his girlfriend back when they were still the things. Yeah, I hope that we become big on YouTube and Twitch, to answer your question, Stacy.
I'll be 30 years old in 5 years.
You'll be 30 years old.
That's why I don't think that far ahead, because it's only 5 years.
You know how old I'll be? 25. I'll be how old you are.
I'll be 26.
Huh?
I'll be 26.
Oh, yeah, kinda. Yeah, almost 26.
It's like, you're not 5 years younger than me. Only 4.
We have another question from Valerie Quinn. Tyler, where did you take Kairi on your guys' first date? When did you realize that Tyler is your Panda King for Kairi? For me, where I took her on my first date, because of course you guys know, and if you've seen the videos on TikTok, because it's been pretty popular on there when we first met, and we both recorded. What I thought was cool is when we first met, we recorded each other from each side of the door. So I recorded when I saw her, and then she recorded on the other side when she hugged me. And I took her around town because really it wasn't technically our first date, because she wasn't really my girlfriend at the time. But it was a date for me. To me, it was a date. Was it a date for you? Yeah, it was a date. I took her to the mall because here in Amarillo, Texas, that's all we got. So I was like, that's pretty much the interesting stuff. And then I showed her like all the streets, all the popular streets that people drive down. And I was so excited and giddy to show her my hometown and all the stuff that's in it, even though it's little and small and insignificant. But yeah, I took her to the mall and I asked her when we went through there, I was like, "Are you hungry?" Because I was starving. And she was like, "Yeah." First of all, we did those videos on TikTok when we got back home, and then we went to the mall. But she was like, "Yeah." And so we ate at Chick-fil-A, which was her second time in her life eating at Chick-fil-A. Was it good? Mm-hmm. Yeah. She bunked her head in the booth.
I don't even remember, like, what we were doing or anything, but I just, like...
I made you shy. I made you awkward, and you were like...
Oh, yeah.
And you bunked your head. She tried to hide her head, and she bunked her head in the freaking booth. That's how I knew she was accident prone. That whole day she was hurting herself on accident. And then I bought her that big old stuffed panda, and she almost cried. And I was like, "Oh, don't cry. Dumpling. Little dumpling."
Big dumpling.
Big dumpling, yes. And that's questions for you, Kairi. When did you realize that Tyler is your Panda King?
When the Panda War started. Because at first you said that you were, like, the Panda Sheriff, and then I was like, "Well, I am the Panda Queen," and then you said that you were the Panda King. I was like, well, I mean, every king needs a queen.
Every king needs a queen. Why don't we put a truce to this, huh? Yeah, and then I did that video. The very first video I did to start the war was me in my Clint Eastwood outfit, and they took her video down. And I think they didn't take my video down, but they took hers down because she had a gun on her side. I even had my pistol on my side.
I was just like, I don't understand. Yours stayed up, but mine got reported and taken down. So I was like, fine, whatever.
Fine, whatever. I even had a cigar in my mouth. Come on. Becca Horton, Howerton. I'm sorry, Becca, I can't pronounce the last name. When did you first realize you loved Kairi? And Kairi, same for you, when did you realize you loved Tyler? Well, I think I've said it before in this video, but I first loved her when I first saw her. When I very first saw her, something clicked inside of me, but, you know, I've always been, like, questioning myself. I was like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just being that stupid, giddy guy. And then I ended up looking at her full page on TikTok, and I was like, wow, this girl's drop dead gorgeous. I need to talk to her, even though she's way out of my league, and it's just me batting in the Little Leagues for a big frickin'... I'm the Little League kid batting for the Red Sox in this massive stadium.
See, that's what I was like, I always thought you were way out of my league. I was like, he is, like, way too good looking, and, like, all the girls want him, and he's, like, super talented.
She did piss a lot of girls off when she found out that, when they found out we were dating, and a lot of people ended up, like, a lot of people joined my live stream and got out of my live stream when I asked you to be my panda queen and I ended up kissing her. A lot of people got pissed. They can be jealous. I got the best one.
I mean, it was, like, pretty much the same thing, like I said earlier in the video. It was, like, love at first sight, but I never believed in it. And I was just like, it's too much. I was like, because I'm, like, just getting out of this marriage, and I was like, there's no freaking way that I could be, like, falling in love this fast to somebody that I've never even met in person. For the longest time, I, you know, kept telling myself, I was like, this ain't real. I was like, this is just, I don't know. I didn't know what to think, and I just kept trying to convince myself that it wasn't that, but then I ended up coming to terms with it. I was like, yeah, there's no way, there's no getting out of this.
Elena Ruth? No, really a question, but not really a question, but I just want to say I love you guys, and I think you are so cute together. Oh, well, thank you, Elena. Devin Saxton, do you ever think Ellen ever said the N-word? Yes. And that concludes the first batch of Q&A questions that we have for these videos, guys. I hope you enjoyed them, and if you ever have any more, let me know in the comments if you like these kind of videos. We enjoy doing vlogs, especially since freaking Kairi has a badass phone that has pretty good audio on it, so... And video. Look at this crisp quality. I'm talking, this is a Canon camera right here, like... This is an iPhone 7. Look at the quality. You can see my calluses in my hand. That's bitchin' right there. That's cool.
You can see all my flaws.
You have no flaws.
I have all the flaws.
You have no flaws. So that concludes this video, guys. I'm going to get to editing it for you so you can see it on the YouTubes. Once again, like and subscribe if you liked it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Say bye, Kairi.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.